Back when this game originally released, The Last of Us Part 2 was nothing but divisive. Now that all that has quieted down a bit and I've gone through the first wave of re-releases, and after many playthroughs, I have only one real complaint about the story of The Last of Us Part 2. Before we get into that, what is the game really about? If you ask someone this question, most likely they'll tell you that it's about revenge or how violence begets violence. Those people are wrong. In my opinion, this game is about forgiveness. And that's why the entire Abby segment is a waste of time. Here's why. We start the game playing as this person that we don't know. She has a close group of friends that are all working towards a common goal. But we get the feeling that she's the one who wants it the most, and the rest of the group is just tagging along out of loyalty to her. The first time that we get control of Abby, she's just had a nightmare. Something is haunting her. We see a hallway and a door that's familiar to us. That door guards all of Abby's fear and anger. We know that what she sees is the aftermath of Joel's massacre at the Salt Lake City Hospital. That was one of the headquarters of the Fireflies, a rebel group that worked towards taking down Fedra. That was what remained of the government in this fungal post-apocalypse. One of their members was Jerry Anderson, a doctor who was trying to develop a vaccine to cure the cordyceps infection. Since doing that would have killed one of our protagonists, he had to die. I guess it's his fault since he can't even survive a shot in the leg. Anyways, that was Abby's dad, and now she'll get a real opportunity at revenge by killing the man that took his father away from her. After rejecting her friends when they tried to make her see reason, she goes out on her own to try and find someone who might know who she's looking for. She doesn't find that. By an unbelievable stroke of luck, she gets who she's looking for, served on a silver platter. Joel Miller was the person who killed his dad. When seeing things from Abby's perspective, you might think that when she found Joel, we'll find this devil feasting upon unborn babies and performing satanic rituals with what remains, as they do every Friday at EA HQ. But what we see is a man who saw a woman in danger, saved her life, took her to safety, and also offered further assistance, expecting nothing in return. You might think that seeing that could make someone change their mind, or at the very least have second thoughts about what she was going to do. But no, she killed him and had the opportunity to kill much more, but didn't. Most likely because she didn't want to antagonize the only voice of reason in the entire group, Owen, who was stopping the others from taking out Ellie and Tommy. She had her revenge. She was satisfied. End of the story, right? No, we're like 2 hours into the game. The next time we see Abby is a flashback, where we see who her father was. This is the part when you first play the game, when you know why she did what she did, and you might even empathize with her. She had something taken away from her, she took something, but this thing was a human being who, unlike a thing, they have the ability to change and you can reason with, which is something that Joel didn't even attempt to do when facing Dr. Anderson. Neither did Abby when facing Joel. This is where the whole story goes down the drain, because we have Ellie on her way to Seattle to do the exact same thing that Abby did to her, so you know that this unstoppable force will meet an immovable object sooner rather than later. But the story tries with all its might to make you like Abby before that happens, and they do it in all the wrong ways. The next time we see Abby, after Jackson, she's back home. She's still having the same dream. She's still being haunted by something. The first problem that I have with how Abby is portrayed is that she's made to be seen like a saint. Everybody in the stadium says hi to her with a smile on their faces. Everybody is happy. If this is the only thing that you've seen of this community, you wouldn't believe that they're actively planning the genocide of another community. They're called the Wolves, but are dressed in sheep's clothing. As we continue with Abby's stroll through the stadium, we get to her room. She lives in a luxurious skybox and only shares it with one person. There must be thousands of people living in the stadium. We don't see the living quarters of anyone else, but I guarantee that the people who wash clothes don't get a skybox. You need to be special to get a place like that, and what do we know that Abby's good at? Killing. In this community, you get the most benefits and are admired if you're a killing machine. Going back to Abby's interaction, you continue to see how she's portrayed as a good person for doing the most basic stuff. Like when she talks to Manny's dad, an elderly man with whom she does small talk with, and uses that voice that you use with a person that you really don't want to talk to, but you do to try and seem polite. After leaving her room, she walks with Manny and Mel. They proceed to have my favorite interaction in the game.
You could probably get a stay if you ask.
I'd rather not sit around if I don't have to.
No one's okay with this?
Why would it be up to Owen?
I'll be damned if I let a man stop me from putting our unborn baby at risk for absolutely no reason. The place where we're going wouldn't be able to function without an incredibly pregnant woman, so all you bigot sandwiches can go and cry while Mel, the girl boss, tries with all her might to kill her baby. Yes. Slay. Queen. Besides, what are the odds that something bad will happen? Before they leave, there's another Abby Good scene where she plays catch with a dog because only good people play with dogs, so you need to like her. Once Abby and Manny, the two people who were called there and actually needed to be there, go to where Isaac is. They pass the jails where they keep Scar prisoners, but they wouldn't waste space and resources on prisoners. They're there to be tortured, and after they get what they want from them, they're disposed of. Here, Manny says,
I wouldn't mind a few minutes with these guys.
I hear that.
so they're not just good at killing, they're also good at torturing and enjoy it. After seeing Isaac, he informs them of the genocide plan and that they'll be leading the charge. And also, they confront Isaac about Owen's whereabouts, who has been missing and the person who he was with turned up dead. After leaving, Abby also runs away in search of Owen, where she gets captured by the Scars. Before we see where they're taking her, we see several flashbacks where there are more Abby Good moments. Don't get me wrong, Ellie also has time-consuming and boring flashbacks on repeated playthroughs. The first time that you go through them, they are really beautiful moments that help push the plot forwards, but even on your first time through Abby's flashbacks, they only come across as padding, and again, more Abby Good moments. A bad person can't save a zebra. A bad person can't offer themselves as a sacrifice in a hypothetical scenario that will never happen. A bad person can't go to the aquarium looking for seals or sea lions. A bad person can't play with a Nerf bow and arrow. Therefore, Abby Good. Even the information that is given on the flashbacks is a waste of time. We are shown several times that Dr. Anderson is Abby's dad. We don't need a backstory for an aquarium. Also, we already knew that the person who wanted revenge was Abby and the others just tagged along. Now, we've reached the ultimate Abby Good moment. When she gets captured, we meet Yara and Lev, two Scar kids on the run. They save Abby because they assume that Abby saved them. But for all we know, she was just trying desperately to get a hold of anything that she could step on and not die, or taking out the Scar that hanged her, or helping them so they could free her after. What I'm trying to say is that there are zero altruistic thoughts in Abby's head during this scene. The moment when the three of them reach a semi-safe zone, Abby doesn't hesitate and ditches them, leaving for the aquarium. Once she finds Owen, she makes him cheat on a pregnant lady and has another nightmare. But now instead of his father dying, she sees Yara and Lev hanging. I know post-nut clarity is a powerful thing, but if you need to get pegged in order to know that leaving two kids to die is a bad thing, you might be a bad person. Reluctantly, Abby goes back and takes the kids to the aquarium. Mel is also there now. Yara needs the surgery, and the equipment that they need to perform it is back at the hospital. This is the first legitimate good thing that Abby does. She gets what Mel needs, and in the way, gains more understanding of Seraphite culture. She also finds out the reason why they're on the run. Lev is a trans boy, so saving the kids is not only an Abby Good moment, she's also an ally. Not really. Here's proof that she hates the LGBT. Once they're back in the aquarium, Yara gets her surgery and Abby has the last dream. But now, instead of seeing something horrible at the end, she sees her father smiling back at her. This means that in her mind, a life of murders, torture, and cutting in line are redeemed by just one good action. No, it means that she turned a new leaf and now she'll continue doing good stuff. You might say, if you think that, you're absolutely wrong. After more patting and Abby Good moments, she comes back to the aquarium to find Owen and Mel have been killed. When she finds out that the people who killed them were the same people that she did the same thing to them previously, and so on and so forth, does she break the cycle? No. She goes right back to the same old Abby, killing anyone that she can lay her hands on. When she has Dina pinned down and finds out she's pregnant, what does she say?
Good.
The only reason Dina is alive is because Abby didn't have a gun. She had already made the decision to kill her before Lev spoke, and was only stopped because she needed to get better positioning for the knife. If the only purpose of Abby's campaign is to make her look like a good person, and after 10 hours I only hate her more, you failed as a writer. Now, take our other protagonist, The whole game, she has also been looking for revenge. But the moment when she gets a real opportunity at it, she doesn't see red like Abby does. Without anyone pushing her, she realizes that this has to stop. The only thing that she sees is forgiveness. This whole video was just my way of saying,
You're a piece of shit, Abby.